Alright, this is a little bit hectic. So I had a nice conversation with a police officer. This one was actually very decent, asked me a lot of things about NATO. Obviously he couldn't answer a lot of things because I asked direct questions like, why are you not going to arrest them? But you know, I just want to see how they react, and he wanted to know what kind of crimes they committed. And yeah, that's just something. Anyway, I'm going to film somewhere where there's not too much police because they already took my my name and everything. It doesn't matter. So we are going to talk about all the crimes of NATO. So first of all, direct attacks on civilians and civilian infrastructure. Libya, indiscriminatory bombing of civilian areas. That was in 2011. NATO's air campaign expanded beyond military targets to include civilian infrastructure in Sirte, Bani, Walid and Tripoli. Residential areas, schools and hospitals were struck under the guise of targeting command centers, resulting in thousands of civilians' deaths. A UK Parliament report confirmed NATO reliance on flawed intelligence and exaggerated threats of massacres to justify escalation. An example was the siege of Sirte. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I say the name correctly, but yes. Involved a sustained bombing of civilian neighborhoods, displacing 40,000 residents and causing widespread destruction. That is all because of NATO. Let's just sit here. And Kosovo, high altitude bombing campaign, 1999. NATO conducted over 38,000 sorties with 35% using unguided munitions. Human Rights Watch documented 500 civilians plus death across 90 incidents, including Jakovica convoy attack, April 1999. 73 Albanian refugees killed after misidentification as military targets. Lausanne bus bombing, May 1999. Civilians killed on a passenger bus. NATO's refusal to fly below 15,000 feet hindered target verification, violating the principle of distinction. Afghanistan, unreported civilian casualties, 2001-2014. Classified war logs revealed 195 plus civilians killed in blue on white incidents. Coalition caused harm, notable cases, French troops strafing a bus of children in 2008. Polish mortar attack on a wedding party, 2007. Amnesty International found 0 prosecutions for 140 plus documented civilian deaths in air night raids. 0. Support for armed groups committing atrocities. Libya, arming Islamist rebels and ignoring war crimes. NATO openly violated UN Resolutions 1970 embargo by facilitating weapons transfers from Qatar, Egypt to rebel factions. A NATO video showed Canadian forces permitting a rebel tugboat carrying explosives to proceed. Rebels subsequently ethnically cleansed 40,000 plus black Libyans from Tawerka. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name incorrect. Engaged in torture, summary executions and forced displacement. The UK Parliament confirmed rebels included extremist elements later linked to ISIS. Afghanistan, kill, capture squads and torture. A covert NATO unit, Task Force 373, conducted extrajudicial assassinations based on flawed intelligence. Detainees in US NATO custody reported torture, including electric shock beating and waterboarding, e.g. Wardak province, 2012-2013. 4 prisoners killed in custody after torture sessions. Jesus, I didn't even know that one. Intervention based on fabricated justification. Libya, the Benghazi massacre. Deception. UK intelligence confirmed Gaddafi never planned civilians massacres. His February 2011 speech threatened rebels, not civilians, yet Western media portrayed it as imminent genocide. Diplomats admitting the intelligence-led intervention was driven by regime change objectives. Outcome: NATO extended bombing for 7 months after securing Benghazi, its state's objective. Yugoslavia, illegal humanitarian bombing. NATO bypassed UN Security Council authorization violation the UN Charter's Articles 2 in brackets 4 and 53. UN Secretary General Kofi Annan condemned it as unilateral overreach. False pretext. Claims of genocide in Kosovo were debunked. OSCE reported ethnic cleansing escalated after bombing began. Systematic accountability failure. Immunity for NATO personnel. Libya, no investigations into NATO's bombing of civilian sites. Afghanistan, only 6 prosecutions for civilian deaths despite 140 plus document cases. Kosovo, ICTY declined to investigate NATO citing limited resources. Destructing of cultural heritage. Kosovo, 225 mosques damaged, destroyed by Yugoslavian forces, with NATO failing to prevent retaliation. Libya, historical sites in Sirte, sorry if I butchered the name, razed during NATO-backed assaults. NATO operations have repeatedly involved mission creep from protection to regime change in Libya, weaponizing rebels with documented extremist ties, avoiding accountability via flawed international reviews. So, some other violations: Libya, indiscriminate bombing, arming rebels. Kosovo, illegal intervention, cluster munitions. In Afghanistan, torture, unreported killings. And the police is standing here with the army protecting them. But I guarantee you, if I am going to open a can of beer here, they're going to arrest me for drinking in public. That's unheard of, right? That's unheard of. Just imagine. So if you are working for NATO, you can engage in all sorts of terrorist attacks and all sorts of murders all over the globe. Supporting terrorists and terrorist organizations. Oh, wait a minute, I don't know what I'm doing. Supporting organizations that commit terrorist acts, right? As you just heard, that they also have been linked to ISIS, or at least working with ISIS. And that is wow, I cannot, can I walk or not? All right, we're going to walk. Yeah, the bus is a little bit too big for me, so I will not fight a bus because I cannot. Anyway, I just wanted to share this because it's a shame. It's a shame. I did ask these police questions, and you have to ask this kind of question because they also need to start to think, right? On whose side are you? Are you on the side of the people, or are you on the side of justice, or are you just working for the puppets who are in charge now, who are constantly committing all sorts of crimes and not protecting the civilians, but are actually attacking other civilians in other nations? That's kind of nasty, isn't it? Anyway, this whole thing cost, like, I don't even know anymore. Was it 180 million or whatever, or was it almost to $1 billion? This is the other thing. So these people it's an organization. It has nothing to do with our country, right? Our country is paying billions and billions of dollars every single year to them, right? And then they are coming over here, and we as the normal people need to pay for their coffee and need to be harassed with all these kind of things that are going on here, right? Because it is more difficult for us to live now in The Hague, because a lot of places you can't come because they are, the roads are cut off. Entire highways are being cut off now, so it's harder for people to go to work. But anyway, we have to pay for all this and suffer from this. But meanwhile, they are profiting from war, death and destruction. And it is just unheard of, right? They are literally profiting because they are working for the military complex. Military complex is making a lot of money, obviously. Well, this is, I have no evidence for it, but I suppose it will go like that. There are people lobbying NATO, obviously, and those lobbies are obviously for if a country is destroyed, then who is going to rebuild it, right? All these kind of things are actually in the economics of war. Right? And I think people need to stop, and I think especially people like the police, because the police, I assume that if you are working for the police that you really want to have justice in the world. Otherwise, why would you become a police, right? I think that would be more or less for I want to fight for justice. So yeah, that is why I started to ask questions. Goedemiddag. And that is why we need to pay a little bit more attention to these kind of things. We need to show the truth to the rest of the world, and also find the injustice, because as I said, I guarantee if I am here opening a can of beer, they will fine me, right? They will fine me for so much money, 104 euros. But when the criminals are coming here that have committed all these crimes and also admitted to about it, right? They just stand here and protect them. Now, I'm not blaming the police itself. They are also under pressure because they have to do it, whether they agree with what NATO does or not. But it also shows the hypocrisy of our government. Our government is willing to protect war criminals. And these war criminals are not even from our own country, right? They're not from our official government institutions. They are actually a non-constitutional, it's just a private organization, right? And they are actually pushing other nations into war, right? They want to have more money. It looks like an extortion. It really looks like extortion. I'm going to ask them. Hey, komen die mensen morgen niet?
Sorry?
Van de NAVO, komen ze niet morgen?
Nee, dit is vandaag.
Vandaag ook nog? So, yeah, well, I asked if these from the NATO came tomorrow or today, but they're coming today. And maybe we can wait then for a moment. I'm not sure what time they will be coming. I will look it up, and yeah, maybe I keep it here and then I just will search for it on my phone while I'll still have some battery. Right. Anyway, I see you, I think, in the next segment. Well, you don't know that because I'm going to edit it anyway.